Hey everybody, we are live. Welcome to Spill the Immunity. We have no intro today and we're missing someone. Gina is not here. She's going to be joining us again next week. We're on this little holiday break and we've just wrapped up Survivor 45. It was great, a great season. Lots to talk about and a lot of talk about the last, 41 through 45 on the winners that we've seen, what we thought of this season, where it's been, like how we enjoyed it. And then also a look at 46. We got a new cast to take a peek at, and that's what we're going to do today. So stay with us. A quick intro. Alex is here. Brandon is here. I am here, of course. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hello. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I'm struggling over here with no new episodes of Survivor this week.
I know. What did we do last night?
Right.
I remember crying a lot. And typically, to be honest, I watch it Thursday mornings. So I still have it helps the holidays not having any clue what day it is right now. Being on family vacation and stuff. But it's been sad. It's been sad, right?
Can I go off here about the Paramount Plus app and how bad it is? I mean, this is like, how long has this company been around? Every single time I'm trying to watch old episodes of Survivor, it crashes. Every time I'm trying to stream it on my TV, it freezes. Like, there's no rewind button. You have to, like, the Paramount Plus app, especially on the television, is just like one of the worst streaming apps of all time, which sucks because, like, that's the only show I watch. So we always have to like stream it from our computer to our TV, and then the sound doesn't. So Paramount Plus, get your stuff together. You know what I mean?
Agree.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys have that same experience with the app?
It is the worst of the apps, especially when sometimes you want to watch something live like Survivor. It always shows my first opportunity to watch something live is like the news, which is like CBS something else. And so it can't always get the live show that the main reason I bought the stupid thing, allows me to. So, yeah, I'd vote it off.
And also go off about this too. You can't watch Australian Survivor either on the app.
That's what I was going to say. That pissed me off. So here's the thing, too. They started with they were going to have it on and then gone, not going to have it. They somehow negotiations broke down or the contract renewals or whatever it was. And all of a sudden, you can't watch Australian Survivor on Paramount Plus. It's like, what? Why can't we get along? Please, so we can have it, so we're not finding inventive, I'm going to use that word, inventive ways to catch our Australian Survivor fix that we so desperately need. Like, come on.
Yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
And Bree, I've heard your thoughts on UK Survivor. Do you think that the people at UK Survivor is running the Paramount App Plus app? Do you think it's their responsibility here?
Yeah, I'll blame it on the UK. I mean, why not? No, I mean, and that, listen, I love the UK, all that other good stuff, but you didn't, they renewed Survivor UK for another season. Surprising to me. I hope that they do some homework this next one. I heard it got better, but you lost me, and I gave them like 3 episodes and I was like, I can't.
We're done here.
Maybe in my loss of nothing to watch for a while, I will find my way to get through, Survivor UK, but so far nothing has drawn me back. There's still so much to talk about and see and do, and we look back at what 45 gave us, which was our first, I think, for me anyway, our first like really great season.
Yes, in the new era.
In this new era. I want to find a new word for that. I don't like new era kind of thing, but and I have to say, I saw Tyson Apostle was talking about it to Carolyn last week on his podcast, which is The Pod Has Spoken, and which I thought was a brilliant name. And she was a little offended that because she thought 44 was like such a great like season. And I did like 44. I liked 44 and 45, to be honest. It was the other 3 that I wasn't so crazy about. But no knocks to 44. I think 45 just brought us in a little bit more of what we like. It satisfied our old era Survivor thing, like because they brought back the auction, because they gave us a little longer episodes. And I think all of those things together are some of the reasons why I think this season was so much better. What about you guys?
I think Carolyn, I mean, when I think of 44, it's just Carolyn.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even really remember a lot of play or a lot of dastardly deeds, or I mean, so Carolyn, don't be offended. I think she made 44. I just wasn't really inspired by the Jam Jam win. You know, he's a really nice guy. He played a great game. He's super sociable, highly likable, but he's kind of like Marianne. Marianne was just so like, you know, it's just like you can't take this person to the end because they're going to win. I don't think people saw that about Jam Jam, you know, from the very beginning. It was kind of like at the end, oh, you know, he was the likable one to kind of keep everybody together. I'm not saying he wasn't a good winner. You know, you can talk about Gabler. He's a very controversial winner because he is, I guess, strategy. It's always kind of funny. He's, you know, these people like, oh, my game was to play low key the entire time. I didn't want to make waves, right? That's okay, but
I have thoughts on Gabler. I'll come back around to that later.
And then who was the last one was Erica, right? She was 41. Erica, I mean, very underwhelming winner. You know, no offense, Erica, but I can't even recall a single thing she did. I think she played a pretty low key game. I'd have to check who she went to the finale with.
Hourglass. That's all she did. She broke the hourglass and it changed the
right.
entire game. So that hourglass ruined, I think, that season. That's why that's 41's on the bottom of that list, and it ever probably will be.
And that's all on production for me.
And when you think of 45, it's kind of like a Boston Rob kind of thing where it's like D had the game, controlled the game. There was a lot of commotion. There was a lot of, you know, the Julie vote, and there were some really big things at the end there that really like sealed her as like one of the great players, not as a likable person, not as somebody who, was basically well liked, right? If you look at Marianne, if you look at Yam Yam, Eric, you know, even Gabler, I mean, they're just well liked, but where's the play? Where's the control of the game and the strategy and the, you know, I don't know.
And I think there's enough of the old school elements in this past season, like starting on the ship to start the game off. That was great. I think Emily set us off by, saying what she said at the very beginning of the season right to Bruce's face. I mean, you already had the person that you're like, oh, I already either love this person or hate this person right away. And to have, the auction, as you said, some of the familiar things that we've always come to like. And I think the season was so great in spite of two people quitting during that season. There was other seasons where someone quit and not as memorable, but I think the fact that almost was plagued by quitters and it still did as great as it did meant some of the old school elements, I think, really helped to emphasize the greatness of the season.
I agree with that. I think the reason that quitting now is just so unacceptable because back in the day when like the first person that quit, really it was before you had this incredible understanding of what the game is about, how really hard it is. It was like, I'm going to be on TV and this is going to be so cool and I get to travel. And we didn't have as much information. We didn't have as much history and understanding of what it was really like out there. And we also knew that being on that show does so much for you personally, right? If you can make it long enough on that show, you have that, you've got a status to you now. Like more opportunities open up to you. You have a lot, you can do a lot of the things that maybe you couldn't have before because of what Survivor has done for your life. And so I think it's like, and there's so many people that want to be on the show that there's this level of like, if you're going to do this show, you better show up and show out. Like, I want to see you getting the job done and not going, oh, it's a lot harder than I thought. Girl, you had years to watch the show to understand how hard this stuff is, right? So don't even start with me and say, oh, it was a lot harder. It's hard. Listen to the people. They'll tell you. So there's no room for them doing that now.
And they're in Fiji. They're in Fiji, which is one of the most tamest. They had it in Nicaragua. They had it in the Amazon. They had it in these places are way more inhospitable. Like the one where they were in Nicaragua or they were like near these. I mean, they were just in the jungle. like deep in the jungle with all the bug. You know, when you're on the beach, yeah, there are bugs, there's mosquitoes, you still get bitten a lot, but it's a much tamer environment than a lot of the other. And they don't have to boil water. They don't have to do a lot of these.
There's no barbed cage around your hut keeping the animals away at night. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Yeah, these, and it's like the new millennial, you know, these millennials aren't as tough as these old, you know, Gen X, boomer, you know, people who, I was saying that before, you know, when you look at the old seasons, it was so old school in their approach, and it was all about working hard and who was the hardest. And now in this new season, it's, you know, the challenges aren't hard, maybe challenges, dig a tiny hole, get a puzzle piece, put the two puzzle pieces together, you know what I mean? And yeah, like, there hasn't been these big storms. I remember sometimes they had to medically evacuate the people, and yeah, I mean, or not medically evacuate, but you know, evacuate the entire tribe. Yeah, they're on Fiji. I mean, it's just
yeah. So I think they have it a lot easier now, and I mean, maybe not a lot easier, but it's definitely a bit easier. It's in an easier. The surroundings and the habitat are a lot easier. There's also there are things to eat. Like, you can find things to eat there if you've paid attention. Like, that's the first thing. I'm like, what can I make? What can I learn how to make to be on Survivor? So, like, what are the plants that I can use there? And not just like what's edible, but like, can I make lotion? Can I do things like put stuff in my hair so it's not a big rat's nest all the time? And is there other things that I can use to like make for greater comfort, right? Can I learn how to weave something or create something to provide myself and those around me with a more comfortable place? Like,
and you nailed it right there, to be able to do that for the people that you are there with, to make yourself more profitable keeping. And that element, I think, is pretty much gone. Is there's no player that I think has ever been voted off, and you're like, oh no, what were they going to do with their shelter? You know, what are they going to do with their food? Well, that's taken care of. So
yeah, they don't have shelters hardly. They don't even build anything. They're sleeping on the ground. What are you doing? Well, I guess it's Fiji.
To go back to oh, good.
No, I was just gonna say there was a lot more focus too on camp life and this. And if you look at like Australian Survivor, they don't really talk. There's no camp life. There's not a lot. It's like challenge, tribal council. There may be a little bit of strategy in there. There used to be a lot more about camp life, right? The chickens and, you know, all the different things that they would have going on at camp, right? Now it just seems like it's really, Survivor is really, in the modern age or the modern era, whatever you want to call it, it's really like strategy, and they really do like, you know, try to build the strategy element out a lot more than I even think the other, you know, genres or, you know, locations that they do it, right?
What were you going to say, Brandon?
Well, even with the 90% of their challenges, you know, they're going to the same place they've always gone, at Sanctuary, where back then you'd go visit the village nearby, or you'd go sit on a dormant volcano or whatever.
You sleep on the Great Wall. Remember that?
Yeah, that was cool.
Like,
one of the most
so cool.
One of the most interesting intros, Rupert's first season. What was that? Cook Islands, right? Where they went to the town, Pearl Islands, and they had the cash, and they were like, you know, bartering, and that was I think
steal the shoes. Yeah,
that was one of my very, very favorite. Like, not the season, but that particular episode. Sandra's in there because she bartered for her with like the necklace she was wearing, and she spoke the language, and so she had such an advantage. I mean, like, she used every resource available to her to set her tribe up in the best possible position. And then you got they're stealing shoes, and like, it was just nuts. I like but that. I loved it.
It kind of reminds me of like Oregon Trail, right? Where it's like you got to pick all your different items, and you have your money, and you got to spend your money. Like, I love Oregon Trail, you know.
And when has a pirate theme never worked? I mean, VBS's Survivor show themes, it always works. Yeah.
Is there a rhyme or reason why I mean, every season back in the day had like a big theme, right? Not like every single one. Sometimes it was like Nicaragua, but it was like versus water, blood versus water, hero versus villains, Gen X versus millennials, right? Like, they used to have these themes, and I'm just thinking, like, will they ever bring back a theme? I mean, they'll probably bring back like
numbers now,
fans versus favorites, but but I don't know.
We
Do
need
you,
it.
you think they would do a theme again? I want Gen Z versus whoever. I think that'd be fun.
Versus whoever they want to play.
Whoever they want to go against.
I like the brains versus beauty versus brawn. Like, I thought that was an interesting dynamic. I do want them to go back to 2 and not 3. I don't think they will. I think they'll always stay at 3 when they start, just because Jeff likes that. He likes the fact that it forces them to really play hard from the beginning because there's so few of them. But I really I like the bigger ones because it gives you still have to play hard and you have to be really super strategic, right? Because you can then, instead of being like, oh, we only need 4, like if we don't only need 4 to like do the vote, but if you have like 9, well then there's like 2 over here, 3 over here, you like, there's a lot of different ways things can go, and so you really have to be a lot smarter, I think, to get a successful blindside with 2 tribes is way harder to do.
Yep.
And I love that. I think that's that intricacy. And I think with 90 minutes, you've got time for that. Why not show us a little bit of that? Because we're going to get more of the cast at one time because it's only 2 tribes. Because a lot of times we get in there and like one of the tribes is barely even shown, right? Because they just don't, they're just, these are the 2 that are really going at it or whatever. So I think with 2 tribes, you just give a lot more time to everybody, and it's a lot more complicated. A vote is way more complicated now.
There was a shout out to the thing called Zoomvivor. It was one of the many survivor orgs that came out of COVID, right? And so one of them, one of the seasons he did was a mind versus heart versus gut tribal. So one tribe would be full of the mind, very strategically minded people. One was they played at their heart, relationship people, and then the third group was gut. I think it was just people in like a hodgepodge situation with that. So that was kind of cool. And whether it's an all-star season or not, that would be so cool. You talked about, I think, Alex, on your top 5 list or whatever last week, you want to see a lot of the nerds play, right? And so how cool would it be to have like a Carson and a Steven, all in one. And you have
Fishback. Oh my God. Can you imagine all of them together?
It was funny. They did that on Australian Survivor. They did brains versus bronze. And it was so funny because if you know about Australian Survivor, it's like super physical challenges. Yeah. So you're like, oh, okay, brains versus bronze. They're going to give the brains like, brain challenges. They were all hyper physical challenges. And so the brain just got annihilated.
Right.
And I was like, what? It's like, that's Australian Survivor for you. It's like, oh, brains versus bronze. But it's still, fight each other to the death for immunity.
Well, because they left JLP with all the challenges. Yeah.
I was also going to say, the weirdest season, theme season of Survivor was heroes versus healers versus hustlers. I was like, that still makes me laugh. Like whatever like hustlers, I don't know. It was an interesting season, but
Australia has Titans versus Rebels this year, and that's what's coming up. And everyone's like, "What do they mean by rebels?" And I'm like,
"We'll find out."
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But like, it's probably those who go. Like do things their own way, right? They don't think inside the box. So and like you said, it's so different, but it's become so good. I think we do have to talk a little bit about the new season that's coming up February 8th for Australian Survivor, and then the US Survivor comes out February 28th. Is it 28th or 29th? Because we have a 29th this year. But I think the casting is very different. First, Australian Survivor has a very large cast.
Yep.
It's a lot more players, and it's a lot longer of a season, and the money is a lot less. And that's the thing that I don't understand. But it's really like nothing down there compared for like what they have to go through. Way more physical. A lot more people, a lot longer. And I think it's like less than half of what they get. Is it 250,000 or 500,000?
I think it's 500,000.
I would like to know how much of that is their tax situation the same, because I think the winner as a see, who was it? That Jeff Kent said one season, well, Obama takes, 300,000 of the million. So I'm not even a millionaire from that. So I wonder how much of the tax money in Australia changes up that 500 grand. Probably not enough, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like if you look at the dollar is very different. So if you talk 500,000 Australian dollars, I think that's probably only, 375 US dollars. I'm not exactly sure.
And things aren't like cheap in Australia. I mean,
No.
housing is like super expensive. I mean, you look at, so they really get ripped off. They're there for like 50 days, 47 days or something crazy long.
And they produce, if not a better show than Survivor.
I'll say that, Australian people, they're more hardy than American people, right? You look at Australian Survivor, you're like, geez, these people are big. I mean, like the girls and the guys, they're tough, but that's just because of, you could look at the history of Australia and stuff. These are tough people. And the Outback, you got Steve Irwin, that's kind of the vibe. And people in Australia, they're built different, as they say, out there in Australia.
I do want to say one thing before we move into the new cast and stuff. I love talking about I love talking about all of the seasons, all the new 40s, the new era of what we've done. Gabler was my pick from day one. So really? I picked him right out of the gate. I could see I think he was really, really strategic. He came out and he showed a little bit of who he was when he like exposed the fact that they went through his bag. And like he called him out and was really, then he like also like sat really far back and knew how he was playing. I thought it was a really strategic game. I was really happy that he won because he was my pick from day one. But I know a lot of people weren't happy with him. But I have to say, next to D winning, as far as gameplay goes, I thought he had a really good game because he was really strategic and I could see his moves as I was watching it because I was so focused on him. I was rooting for him. So I could watch his moves and they were really subtle, but they were there and he was really doing these things. And I don't think people paid any attention to him. And that's exactly what he wanted. He's a really brilliant guy, right? But he used the tons of tattoos, rough looking, kind of like played it down. But and I also know what he does. And he works with a TAVR units, which is a valve that they can put in without doing open heart, like full open heart surgery. And because I have valve issues with my heart, I know what a TAVR unit is. I understand the whole thing. I know how brilliant he is. That little background on me, but I get that. Like, so maybe that's why I was rooting from him from the beginning. But in my opinion, next to D, because I think D is a great winner. I think she ended up being a villain. She gave us so much of what she was great at. And that whole like betrayal at the end really, really was like, it was so good.
Wholehearted.
It was like she gave us like the full buffet of this is what a Survivor winner should do. So I like that about her. But I want to move into Alex. I know you have some of the new players up. You want to share that? And we'll put it up on screen. We don't know a lot about them. We're just going to do a quick take on what we think about them. And
first impression. All right. Well, let's bring it up. So new Survivor 46 cast. Let's check it out. Here we go. All right. And okay, here we go. So first person that we have, Mr. Ben Katzman, 31, Miami, Florida, musician. And this is, we're not 100% sure. CBS hasn't announced anything. This is coming from a website, kind of a fan website. So, take
Inside Survivor. We're going to give them a shout out. They have a great contest going on right now. So if you head over to InsideSurvivor.com, be sure to vote on who you think, like all your favorites and the favorite moments from the past year. They've got a great contest going on over there. So we thank them.
Am I right by saying that these guys have not seen Survivor season 45? Because wasn't there time? Okay, so the last one they've seen is 44, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because what I mean by that is I really do think that if Julie would have won the season, that would have crucified moms playing this game for about 4 seasons or 5 seasons from ever winning this game.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so I think that D's not really a factor in this. Alliances really aren't a factor in this because it worked. So I'm trying to think what Gabler just got done doing, and what was it? Marianne was at the
yeah.
the winner of that. Okay.
Well, yeah, Jim before too, right?
Lion says he's never watched a full episode of Survivor ever. Lion, we will change that.
Welcome.
You aboard.
Welcome, Lion.
Well, here you can start season 46, February 28th. You can join us. Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to your new.
I don't know how to pronounce. Bree, you're gonna have to help me with this person. Who?
Banu Gopal.
Banu Gopal, of course.
I'm gonna guess that, but that's just
He's an IT professional, so kind of nerdy guy. But I guess
Boston. So I'm gonna guess he maybe went to like MIT.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Looks like a smart guy. We got young guy Charlie Davis, Manchester by the Sea. That's a real place. I thought that was a movie. I guess it's.
It's by Night Shyamalan, right?
Right.
So Charlie looks like a nice guy. He looks younger than 25. He looks like 16, honestly.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll play that. If he'll play the whole I'm like you won't know my age kind of a thing. He could use that. I know that we had, what was the guy's name that pretended he was a year older than he really was?
Right. He's like, I'm going to tell everybody I'm 21, but I'm actually 19.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Okay.
But to a 21-year-old, that's half a lifetime right there.
Right.
So. Right. He's like, oh, when I grow up, when I'm 21, I'll be so much more mature. Right. People will really see me as a grown adult if I say I'm 21. It's like,
yeah. We have a 21-year-old coming up next.
Well, I got my Gen Z. Gen Z that I was at slot machine sales specialist. Okay?
Wow.
He's got the Gen Z hair too, the curly, Jerry curl or whatever you call that.
That's giving me Cody flashbacks, man. He was an elevator salesman.
He was
to
great.
me, I didn't even think that was a real thing. So
I mean, this guy's been watching the slot machines and the poker tables, and so
the odds are in his favor.
Or so a 19-year-old thinks, right? How old is he?
21.
20. Okay, yeah. I think he's done.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. That'll be interesting. Okay, next person, we got Hunter McKnight, 27 years old, from French Camp. What is that? Missouri. Chemistry teacher. Okay, looks like a nice guy. 27 years old. Looks a little bit older than that.
He definitely looks older than that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, kind of like a nerdy. I mean, chemistry teacher, right? So he kind of fits into that maybe nerdy archetype. Christian Cochran. We'll see how nerdy he actually is.
It's Mississippi, right? Because Missouri's MO.
Oh, it is Mississippi. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's got the down home.
Yes.
Way about life. Okay.
I don't know. Have we ever had a Southern nerd? I don't know. Yeah.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, we got Jemhu Adams. Where is that name from? Jemhu?
I love it.
I put $50 on someone spells that wrong by episode 2.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when they write the names down on it's always funny to see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we got Jemhu. Maybe she's like Sri Lankan.
Gem with a question mark. I mean,
like Natalie. Yeah. Gem. Yeah. Let's call her Gem. Okay, and she's a sales and management coach. Sales and management coach. That's interesting.
Yeah, 31 though, and she doesn't
31.
look it.
Yeah.
She doesn't look it. She's blessed with great genes. She'll probably look that age till she's like 70. All right, so I don't like her. No, I do like her. Jessica Chong.
Jessica Chong, software engineer, smarty pants, 37 years old, a little bit up there, which can be definitely an asset. Doesn't look like she's in her 40s.
We are judgy, aren't we? We're like, you look too young. You look too old.
This is why you're not winning based on your profile picture. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Software engineer though, so she's a smarty pants.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to then think who can work together, right? We'll have to think about that. Okay. Kenzie with the nice
Kendra.
Red hair. Yeah. Oh, yeah. High energy hairstylist. So she's gonna say, "Oh, as a hairstylist, I'm everybody's therapist," right? That's what and that's true.
The girls are all gonna look good though, because she'll probably be doing the braids and doing all the stuff to their hair. So that's a good, like, you want her to be your friend. She'll be trusted too. So you have to remember, like, hairstylists, they're like bartenders, right? So when you're doing someone's hair and you ask them a question and they like give you all of the stuff, like this is all this, this is what's happening. And so I think that she's gonna play that role where people are going to trust her and confide in her.
Pretty lady though, you know, sometimes being pretty makes you a threat, right?
Yeah.
They see you as like a, you know, a master manipulator, and we can
Yeah.
kind of look at I don't know if the guides are going to be too smooth, but even that, you know,
Liz
you
looks
just
like a
gotta, you
party
can't be
animal,
hot.
though.
Yeah, I was gonna say Liz, Franny. We got a Franny here.
Yep.
What is she? Email marketing specialist. That's interesting.
Yeah. And she's 35.
wonderful.
So we're, you know, the ages are all up there right now.
Yeah, we have what, 21's our youngest so
Oh,
far.
it's so
But yeah, I
sad
mean,
that 35
a little bit older.
Oh, come on.
All right. Speaking of up, I'm just joking. Speaking of up there, 47 years old, physical therapist, Maria Gonzalez. Okay, interesting. Looks like a nice lady. Doesn't look 47. Good for you. Any thoughts about her? Any thoughts, mom? We got mom energy here.
I think physical therapist is really good. I mean, so she's going to get the whole athletic portions of things, and she's also going to be like, you know, she might be one that will like help with recovery and help with them getting prepared for if there's any sort of difficult challenge that doesn't just include nets and mud. You know, she could help out a lot.
No lawyers yet. We have
no lawyers yet.
No
Yeah,
lawyers.
that's true. Well, we haven't gotten through them all, and I haven't looked at any of these, so this is my first look. No lawyers.
Well, we got Mariah. How would you say that? Mariah. Okay. Program coordinator. Not a great picture. Looks like a nice gal.
A great picture.
We're bringing it today, man. Gina's not here to keep us in line.
It's kind of blurry.
That's a Christmas picture. She's got a Christmas thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Great smile.
Yeah, great smile. Nice lady. Program coordinator. That could be anything. I mean,
not a great picture. All right.
Quintavious birthday.
Never had a Quintavious before. All right,
no,
Quintavious is a real estate agent.
They're right in queue.
I love this name. I love his name. There's gonna be all kinds of coincidences happening because of him.
There you go.
I love it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Another Smarty Pants here. Aerospace technician.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Randon, kind of like Brandon, but with an R.
That means he's going out early.
Yep.
He's done.
I don't know. 40 years old. I don't know. This is an interesting player. I'm not going to pick my player, but this is interesting.
So he's definitely maybe works for NASA because he's.
Is he going to say that he is an aerospace engineer? Or is he going to lie? What do you think?
He's going to lie, but not very well.
He's going to lie.
Yeah. He's going to get caught in lying, and that's how he's going home. Yep. I mean, look at that smile. Right. That smile said he wants to be a villain. That look at that guy. Nobody looks like that without being a villain within 6 days. That's it.
Yeah, that little smirk.
Yep.
Ooh.
He'll lie.
Those NASA villains, I tell you.
So Dacia.
Soda. I'm gonna call her Soda.
Yep, I bet she goes by that too.
How would Bree help me out here?
Hopatcon? I don't know. This is a place. It's in Jersey too. Never heard of it. Lake Hop. It sounds like it should be somewhere in Nevada, but no. But she's a teacher, so I'm going to
special education teacher. Yeah. Yep. So big heart.
Good for her.
You know.
Yep.
Yep. Big
patience.
Heart.
She's going to have patience.
Yep.
And understanding she'll get all the weirdness that everyone else is throwing out at her. So she'll be like, I get you. I know how to work with you.
She's special education in Jersey. So that's like double points right there.
Right.
All right. This guy's going to be a big villain. I hope he is able to stay around because he's a big personality.
Actor,
he's on the actor, musician.
24. He's a little young though. That could not work in his favor when you have this many people that are like adult age. They're not at that like 20 to 25 where I'm still trying to figure my shit out now. Like it's, so he's got to contend with people that are a little more established. What am I doing? Please, are you calling the kettle? What? Amy, what are you saying to me? I got to catch up. I have no idea. Yes, I probably am. Yeah,
Wait.
maybe she's talking about the Quinn thing. I don't know, but she'll tell me. But I love this guy's whole like demeanor, his energy. He's definitely
was like
he's bringing that to this.
like jam level energy, blah, and he had a funny quote. I always say, stay positive but test negative, right? So funny guy, big person. But I think you're right, Brie. Like he would do better on my Gen Z only season.
Yep.
Right. Like that's the type of energy. These older people, they're like, I got a headache. I'm dehydrated, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
that could work against him.
That could work against him. Yeah.
I'm going to say Tevin and Randon. This is a long shot, but I'm going to say one is the cause the others vote out. Look at those two faces. They have to be two strong A personalities. One's voting the other one off. That's what's happening. Yep.
Yep. Well, we got an interesting character here, Tiffany Nicole Irvine.
Yeah, that's a 1980 CD cover right there. Look at that. That's a vinyl cover right there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's her album cover. It's beautiful.
I don't know. What do you think about? What do you think? Visual artist. What does that mean?
Could mean a lot of things. Yeah.
Could mean a lot of things. Yeah. Yeah. Well, interesting player. Wait to see her personality. Looks like she's got maybe a little bit of a, maybe type A, maybe dominant kind of personality. She's really owning it with this headshot. Really looks quite in charge. And
Yep.
This guy, 30 years old, maybe a little bit older. Maybe you lied about that. Just joking. Senior program manager.
He's my winner. He's my winner right there.
Why?
The picture. Look at that confidence. That is a what was the guy's name who was unanimously voted for to win? Earl. That's an Earl photo right there.
Earl.
Remember Earl?
Okay.
What season? Earl. I don't remember Earl.
Earl, you remember Earl?
No. I sure remember Earl.
Am I saying the wrong season? Oh, you guys keep going. I'll find Earl real quick.
Well, I thought I don't know. I mean, you're gonna laugh, but I thought like almost I don't know. He's a senior program director, so he's a smart guy. He's got a suit on, professional headshot. So I was gonna say, Southern guys, maybe a little bit JT with the smile, but I don't think so. No, I'll have to, hear him talk. All right.
Was with Yao Man. Now I know who he is.
Yeah,
yes.
He's the forgotten winner. He's my winner pick right there. Yep. I think it's a lot of confidence. I think. What's his age? I can't read that.
30.
Okay, so yeah, he reminds me less of the last 5 winners than anybody else. I'm going with Earl. He's my pick.
Okay.
He does have really kind-looking eyes too. I feel like he's gonna.
Nice. Yeah.
Wise. He's a smart guy. I didn't catch the last girl, but like I don't know. She's
gone.
She's my first out. So.
She's our Gen Z, data analyst. Again, what does that mean? But Venus. Ooh, so she's the archetypal femme fatale, right? Is that what she's going to be?
Yeah, I think she's first out.
Kind of looks, a little bit of D, but a little bit more.
That's a villain.
More
very
delicate
villainous, right? Delicate, a little bit more feminine, a little less tough. So she could be easy versus vote off, honestly. But
she's delicate looking. She looks like sand in her panties was gonna really be a problem. So
Canada, Toronto, Canada, which was interesting. You look at the Canadian winners. Marianne and Erica were both Canadian.
Yeah,
which was interesting. And Caleb was Canadian. I mean, they always say Canadians are very nice. They're very cordial. They're very, likable and
not
friendly. And I think, right, not her. But I mean, when you realize that Caleb on 45 was Canadian, you're like, oh, okay, this guy makes sense now, right?
But she's a Toronto Canadian. Those are different.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The Tyrannosaurus Toronto Canadians.
This is a good cast. I mean, pretty diverse. We got a kind of a good swath. Something to realize here. Where are the physical players? Where is Jonathan Young? The giant, behemoth player. I mean, this is like a new trend in Survivor. Like, what is this guy going to be? I mean, we'll see how tall and big this guy is. This guy, you know, he's not a huge, you know,
Is he
where are the big
Mississippi
physical
too?
threats?
Wait, is he Mississippi too?
Which
We
one?
had 2 Mississippis. 1 Mississippi, 2
This guy's-
Mississippi.
Yeah, this guy's 2 Mississippi.
We got another one. There's another one that's Mississippi. I swear you just showed him.
Yeah,
Now I
this
gotta
guy
look.
and then this guy. So the
Yeah.
Hunter and Quintavious. You think they're gonna get into a little alliance?
I think
Mississippi
there's going to be an
sprawl.
alliance immediately because of that.
Mm.
I think they'll connect over that. Yeah, I do for sure.
How'd they find 2 people from Mississippi?
Right.
Oh, Amy's trying to correct herself. She's like the girl who doesn't look her age. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you, Amy. Now I know what you're saying.
Thank you.
And she won't look
Well-
like she's been on an island for 20 days either. She stays.
No, I know, right? Yeah, she's gonna look phenomenal, and she's got that hair that'll always. She'll have it in braids all the time. So, oh, here we go. Yeah, Haley Bieber vibes.
Hailey Bieber.
Very on the
Ooh.
mark with that comment. Yes, Johanna. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Looking like Hailey Bieber yourself in that photo, Johanna. I'm just
Yeah. Yeah, she's my first out. I think she's just like the sand's gonna get to her. The bugs that I don't think she'll make it.
All right.
She'll
Well,
be like, I'm out.
you picked your first out. I picked my winner.
Yep.
So who's your winner? Just by photos
Um,
alone, whether the photo's great or a terrible Christmas photo like Alex was talking about. What would you like?
I'm
Who'd you
gonna
like?
pick Kenzie.
So your winner is gonna be Kenzie. Is that what you're picking?
Yep.
Winner Kenzie.
Okay.
Mark it down in the history books for Brie.
Yep.
Kenzie.
Not
And
knowing anything, just saw them for the first time today.
Yeah.
Looked at them. That's it. Yep.
just their LinkedIn photo. Brandon, you chose Tim. You're going with Tim.
I might be changing my mind based on my logic of these people just got done witnessing 2 guys win, right? Because it was Gabler and Yam.
Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am.
You pick yours, and I'll come back, and I might have a different pick. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna pick mine. I think who I'm gonna lock in with. Hard stuff here. I really have to see Liz. I want to really see her personality. She could be a complete goof. She kind of looks like a little, it's kind of a goofy picture. Got her Survivor headband on, her big glasses, but
The Survivor headband looks like a cheeseburger on her head.
It is a cheese. Actually, you're right. It is.
I think that's a cheeseburger.
It's a cheeseburger buff.
Okay.
Okay, no, I can't do cheeseburger. That means she's a goof, right? I mean, we've seen with goofs don't win. Giant goofballs don't win. Okay.
That's a cheeseburger. Wow.
I don't know. I mean, this is hard. I mean, I've never done it from just the picture.
Go back up to Jen Hu or whatever her name was, right above.
Yeah, I was gonna pick Jem Hu, but
I'm leaning towards on top of the cheeseburger.
Well, I'm thinking, maybe like a Natalie personality, but then you saw like Jay Maya, right?
Yeah.
Which there's maybe some similar. And Jay Maya, what a week, not even a play. Right? No offense, but this is hard. This is a hard one. I mean, I'm gonna pick Tim now because no. I want to pick Jessica, but I feel like because she's 37, a little bit older, female. She could be athletic, right? Kind of like the D body type where just endurance. And if she is at all athletic, I feel like Kenzie maybe a little bit too prissy, hairstylist. So I don't know. This is so hard.
Oh, you're going ham?
Aerospace technician? I don't know.
I think he's
too hard for me. With my D pick last season, there's a lot of pressure on me.
I know.
Yeah, there is.
I just feel a lot of. This isn't official, okay?
We're gonna give you 3 Mississippi, and then you have to tell us.
Okay, I'm picking Jessica. We'll see how she does.
All right.
You
All
changing
right. So
yours, Brandon?
I based on my own logic of they just witnessed 2 men win. I'm going Jen Hu for Survivor 46.
Who?
Jem Hu.
Who? Jen Hu. Who?
You won't be able to spell her name. same. They'll like, they're just like.
Yeah, I think she almost has a D vibe to her, that picture. I mean, I see some D, and I think that this season's gonna be ready. Looking at these people, I think a lot of them are gonna work together and take out the villains that are too villainous in their picture, like Venus. Yeah.
This is I mean, don't sleep on this guy either. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but this guy, I don't know. He seems like a sleeper. Very, it seems like a smart guy, a little bit older, but doesn't look, could fit in with a lot of different people here. So I don't know. He could be a sleeper, maybe. So, but still a lot to be seen. Should we look at Australian Survivor? We're going on here, but should we look at Australian Survivor real quick or wrap it up?
I think we're going to wrap it up and we'll save the Survivor Australia for next week. I really want to get into it. I already know who I've picked for Survivor Australia. I love that show. I'm excited to look forward and see what we're going to do with that. I wanted to leave you guys with one little question that's been burning my brain for the last couple days. I've seen a lot of the after show pictures, a lot of we're still hanging out together because we were all on 45 pictures. And the one thing
they're not together. I don't think they're together. That's the question you're asking.
Yeah, they're not together, but I am not talking about Austin.
Oh, okay. I guess wrong. Oh,
I'm talking about Dee and Julie, her other number one. I haven't seen those two together next to each other or together. I've only seen them in one picture together when there was a whole bunch of them, but I haven't seen Dee and Julie like hanging and kicking it and like bonding. So what happened to your number one? That's what I want to know. I thought it was really interesting that they're not like, she's with Kelly. Dee is hanging with Kelly all the time. So I just thought that was really interesting. I wanted to like throw that out there.
Julie's busy being a mom. I think that's all.
Summer camp. Yeah.
She's been at the things though. She was at the events. She just wasn't like really connected to Dee at all. So
I saw some interviews with Jake and Austin, and they were wearing the Barbie "I am Ken enough," because I think both of them are dealing maybe with some not like self-esteem issues, obviously, but like they were both played, dragged, and all the embarrassment, and like Austin is like, oh, Dee really played me, and now we're not even together. I mean. So they got to have a kind of some positive self-talk here. What I noticed about that season, and what I totally agree with, and all the embarrassment and all of this and all of the all that's being said, what they all said is we're just happy it was a great season. Yeah. Because when it isn't a great season, everybody loses, everybody's hated. You're all bad things are said about everybody, and so they should all take pride in like, hey, this is a good season. It's going to be watched back. Like. I'm watching episodes from 20 years ago right now, and you want to watch the ones that are good seasons.
Yeah.
Right. And if they're not, then you're just like, I'm not even going to watch it. I'm going to skip it. So they should be proud. They are Ken enough. But it is sad to see how they both got played. But at least they have each other. At least Austin and Jake have each other, right?
Well, and I'm glad you said that too. I think it goes back to being very okay with the two quitters at the beginning of the season to allow those who are competitive and really wanted to make this a thing and keeping the respect. And that's why I was happy with them quitting during the first part of the season, is because, if you're not going to make the season worth my time or anybody else's, then all right, I'll spare a terrible episode for a great ending.
I'll say this too. There was one season where two people quit very late in the game, and they were both on the jury. Yeah. Purple Kelly, and then there was the other woman.
Yeah, Nyanka.
Yeah, Nyanka and Purple Kelly. They both quit, and they were both on the jury. Like, please quit before the jury.
Yes.
Because I don't want to see your stupid face again on the show.
Yeah, or or you don't get a vote. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care. Like, I think you disgraced your presence on Survivor to start with. Oh my gosh, I want to talk forever, but we have to go. I've got a lot of things going on today, and I know you guys do too. We're excited. We're going to be breaking down more things and talking more smack, apparently, about everything Survivor between now and the release of the new seasons on Australia.
We're making the tea. We're making the tea.
We are making the tea. We've got our own breakdown and our own strategies. We're going to be talking about them. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe. We appreciate it, and we'll see you. Bye.